So we have 3 Keltner channel ones. And as you can see here, like, all of these studies incorporate our modeling algorithm and an additional indicator or 2. Some have multiples. So this one, we're also looking at state 8, target 3. So that aggressive target has been met to the downside, and it also crossed below the lower Keltner channel. Now, not everyone understands what a Keltner is, so I'll go through and explain it. So once it hits this, we're going to be looking for the same type of strategies, bull call, bull put, at the lower standard deviation, and, we're betting that, this is the near-term bottom, or, we're going to get sideways movement near that target 3 area, like was displayed previously in the RSI example. So this is our exact signals that we use. State 8, target 3 met. Keltner channel, 2 times ATR for 20 days. So you'll understand that in a second if you don't. So Keltner channels. These are volatility baselines. And there's an upper and lower, and it's set off the EMA. So that's the middle of the channel is going to be the EMA. If you're familiar with Bollinger Bands, those are based off of standard deviation and the SMA. So these are just slightly different. So instead of standard deviation, we're using average true range. And instead of SMA, we're using EMA. So here's just like an example of Bristol-Myers Squibb, and what you'll find is typically they're staying within the bands, as in this example of 2 months. But if you go back and look on most charts and you put in those Keltner channels, and we like to use the 20 days and 2 ATR, and that pretty much will be similar to this type of output for a lot of different symbols. So the average true range, the high and low price on any given day, and they take that over a specific period. So if we're doing the Keltner channel for 20 days, and it's looking at the average true range over that 20-day period. So you can see the more volatile the stock is, the higher the ATR is, and as it kind of gets in this, it's not moving much, it drops way down here. So the EMA, it's same as the SMA, except for it puts a greater weight on near-term data. So here's just an example of a 20-day EMA. And a lot of people use these as like support and resistance type things. The big one that people use is like the 200-day SMA as an overall indicator of bullish and bearish trends. So this one we're just using a 20-day, and we'll kind of all put it all here together. So the ATR. So if we're taking 2 times this range, so we take this ATR range, multiply by 2, and use that EMA. So the upper will be 2 ATRs, and then the lower will be 2 ATRs below that EMA. And that's your Keltner channel. Okay. I think that explains it. If you have questions, just chat them away. State modeling, obviously we've covered that. So 9-10, a month ago, we had a Keltner bottom for ADP, obviously a strong bullish stock, somehow made its way into state 8. So it populated into our trades here, and this is the characteristics that it gave us. I pulled up a bull put for this one. So it applies those parameters that we showed in the trade rules before for bull put, and applies it to the current day. So it'll automatically populate it here. Okay. So this is entry day. Let's see here, where am I? So this is the entry day right over here. I just want to show, it drops below that too. It usually, will come back. So that's why we add in another indicator, like state modeling, to help filter out the ones that don't work. So, so that was the Keltner cross below here, and then here it had met target 3 a while back. So anytime during this range it crossed below the Keltner would have been a signal. It didn't do it until it it hit that target 3 again. So if you think about the way we look at these are support and resistance bands. So if you think in bullish terms, these are going to be all your support on below it, and these are your resistance above it. So if it went down to this resistance, came back up, tested it again, and that because it also crossed below the Keltner, we wanted to initiate a trade. But it had been, this is what, 2 months. It's been in state 8, and our trade triggered, I think, 9/14. So it had been in there a while, and we're just kind of waiting for that signal. And the beauty of the system is you don't have to actually, go in and check it. It'll tell you. So here's the trade entry. And I, showed a couple months out. So, came down again, and then, from there, no problems. And that's why, just want to emphasize why we don't do long calls on these bottoms, because by the time it gets up to here, we don't know, that time decay might have ate up, too much of your premium on your long call. So that's why, we kind of play the long game with these bull calls and bull puts. As long as it doesn't, drop way down here, we're all good. We're collecting money each day. So here's the actual trades with the strikes. We entered, it's like 20 days. We made 25%. So overall good. And then, same day the puts closed out. So the risk here, it was more higher price stock. It's going to be more obviously on these. So this is kind of like the trade-off. Which one do you like? Do you prefer to get a credit, or do you want to outlay your max loss? So same thing. We had a couple dips. Obviously, these markets rolled over big time. Corona. So, and back in beginning of that's the fall of 18, where the Fed was gonna started raising rates like crazy. So, but you can see it quickly recovered. Similar with the bull puts. But overall 89% win rate. Pretty decent profit factor. You're risking 588. You made 11,000 in 2 years on this. Here you're risking 900, 84% win rate. So still overall good. Any questions on that, Sean?
I didn't see it come across, so you're doing good.
Okay. It's kind of, so we, for all those people on the call, we have a weekly meeting. It's a lot more interactive. So, if you want to get into that, just contact me or Sean. We also have the replays available. We'll show you that on our YouTube channel. But so we go through trades and different things each week on those weekly meetings.